Hey, good morning, Life Happens family. Look, it is Wednesday and we are here again to talk about life happening. I just wanted to take a quick minute and talk to you guys about um asking. A couple of weeks ago at church, um Apostle talked to us about asking. You know, he gave the acronym of ask, seek, and knock, and they all equal up to just asking. And then this morning, my sister Shamila also talked to me about asking and how that we don't ask. Um, and a lot of times that's the reason we don't receive everything that God has for us. So this morning, I just want to remind us, all of us, as we are giving ourselves grace, ending this year strong, let's remember to ask God to help us and give us what we need. Sometimes we think that we can accomplish it all by ourselves, but we really need God in this whole situation. And so, as we give ourselves grace moving forward in this year, ending this year, as we give ourselves grace, I want us to remember to ask God for help. A lot of times we think we can do it. We can do it. I got this. But I promise you, when we put God into the equation, when we invite Him into the equation, because we have to invite Him in, He helps us to move along better, a lot of times faster, and with less complication. So, this morning's motivation is to remind you to ask God for help. As you move along on this grace journey, ask God to help you to understand as you analyze, to help you to retest as you're retesting what you believe is the way to move forward. Ask Him to help you to see where it's not working. Um, it's interesting to me. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was in the sound room at church with Elder Denise Baker, and we were talking about sound. And I said, "What did you do this week? Because the sound is really, really good." And she said, "I asked God." That is really important in our grace walk as we continue to give ourselves grace. Is to stop sometimes and say, "God, what do you want?" To stop a lot of times. Let me not say sometimes. To always stop, say, "God, what do you want? What do you see me doing? Where do you see me?" And wait for His answer. Because a lot of times when we do ask, we don't wait for the answer. Um, and I'm talking from experience because I've done it so many times where I've asked for something, but I did not wait for the answer. And to ask without waiting for the answer is kind of not asking, because the answer is just as important as the question, right? The answer is just as important as the question. And so today, I want to encourage you not only to ask, not only to seek, not only to knock, but to wait for the answer, because when you wait for the answer, what you need will be provided. So ask God how to give myself grace. How do I move forward in this situation? How do I complete this next task? How do I get towards the vision that you gave me? What is the plan? And as you begin to do that, what you'll find out, guys, I promise you, is that He will answer and His answer will take you forward. But you got to listen. This morning, I got up this morning and I was up pretty early and I was praying and I was moving around because I have some projects I'm working on. And I was telling my sister this morning, because I was on with her early, I was saying to her, I was moving, I was moving, I was moving. And as I was moving, I watched God say, "Hey, you, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down." And sometimes when we ask, we got to slow down. We rarely got to slow down. We got to slow down. We have to get to slow down to the place where we can actually hear from Him. Sometimes we're not even we're not even working to hear from Him. We're just doing. We say, "I ask God," and then we go, "Phew," and He's going, "Hey, you, slow down." So as He said to me this morning, I say to you, as you ask, slow down to listen. As you ask, slow down to hear clearly what He's saying to you. As you ask, make a conscious decision to say, "I'm not going to run, but I'm going to wait on God to show me the answer to what I've asked Him for." And so, as we move along today, and as we do everything we have to do in this busy, busy life that we live, let's slow down. Let's ask God. Let's seek Him. Apostle said, ask, seek, knock. Let's ask, seek, knock. And then let's move forward into what we have been predestined to do with our lives. Guys, I love you much. This is still a grace walk for us. We are walking in grace this year. We are finishing strong. Again, don't forget, pull out those New Year's resolutions that you had on January 1, 2025. Go down your list. And if you can complete them. And if you can't, go down your list, decide what you can complete, and begin to work on it because we're giving ourselves grace and not a pass. Grace means that we go back, we look, we tweak, and we work the plan so that we can be successful in moving forward in the vision that God has given us. And we all have a vision, we all have a dream. We just got to work at it. Finish this year strong, guys, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.